Hello, hello. So this is week 64 in Intuitive Momentum Fitness, and I wanted to check in with you guys. We just generally there've been less and less communication, and I do trust you guys to reach out when needed and utilize the offerings, but also wanted to see. I actually wanted to hear from you guys and see how things were going. So thank you to those who checked in. Something that I think is easy to have happen in a group like this is, especially with most of us being empaths and not wanting to be a burden on other people, then we start feeling like I shouldn't share my story. Other people don't need to hear that. Other people don't need to be burdened with that. And we close up and start trying to do everything ourselves rather than realizing that there are all kinds of people out there ready and willing to help, and resources and options and all of that. So I know for myself that I tend to close up if I'm overwhelmed rather than speaking up about it and sharing it. So especially in this group, I want each of you to know that I love hearing from you, even if it's all complaints and nothing's working or whatever it is. That's what we're here for, because I've been on this journey specifically for 19 years and have been through the ups and downs, and I still go through the ups and downs, and I'm still dealing with stuff myself. But we all have brilliance within us as well, and things to offer others. And so you sharing your story, even your struggles, is very encouraging to the right people. And also this group is really, really safe. So really glad that you're here, and always love having the conversations that we get to have. So I thought I'd share a little bit. So I'm finalizing some of the last edits for my book, and I do hope to be publishing this weekend. I keep saying this, but every aspect of it has taken longer than I thought it would. I'm not sure where that comes from. Maybe there's a little bit of maybe not valuing the work that I do. And just because I experienced that growing up, that what I was interested in, things that I wanted to do wasn't seen as valuable. And so then I think, oh, it's no big deal. It's just a little thing. It shouldn't take that long. I should be done in a couple weeks. And everything keeps taking longer because there is a lot to do. And I have been realizing I need to value what it is that I'm doing and what I'm trying to do a lot more than I have been. So that's going. I'm still trying to stay balanced. I'm still getting a workout in every day. I'm still trying to play pickleball twice a week, volleyball once a week. Usually when I play volleyball, I hang out with some friends in town after. So I'm trying to stay balanced in those parts of life. I'm still eating well, and actually just kind of reevaluated my macronutrients, so protein to fat ratios. I basically don't eat carbs because I'm really sensitive to sugar, or allergic to sugar and therefore sensitive to carbs. And so I have, so it's mainly protein and fat. And for some reason, whenever I listen to health experts and people talking about the value of good fat, then I think, oh, I probably should be adding a little bit more fat. And before I know it, I've gone a couple of months and I'm getting thicker in the waist because I I've decided I needed to add more fat. And it's funny, it keeps happening, and I have to keep wait a minute, why am I getting thicker in the waist? And then I recalculate, reassess, and find out that I'm eating too many calories, and it's mostly fat calories. So it's so funny because it's mainly because I think I'm eating a lot of animal protein, which is the one thing that my body doesn't seem to have an issue with, and it already has a good amount of fat, and I always forget that, and so I don't need to be working to add a lot of fat. Maybe certain meals a little bit, but I really don't need to add any fat if I'm already getting animal protein. So and none of this is meant to be a formula for you. It is meant to just kind of share that I'm on the journey as well, and that everyone has to readjust. So you have to kind of, get your heading like you're steering a ship. Like a ship is out in the middle of the ocean has a lot of movement. It's easy to get off track, and so you have to continually check your heading and make sure you're going where you want to go. So yeah, for me, that's what happened. I think it was either Friday or Saturday morning, and I was like, okay, I got the sewing tape measure again. My previous one broke, and so I finally got another one. I remeasured, and I was like, holy cow! I gained some girth in my waist, and so I was like, okay, so what is it that I'm eating? How much am I eating? And I recalculated all that and kind of got a better feel for where I was at, what I needed to do as a baseline, as a routine, and then move forward. But there's so much going on in life and all around us, and relationships and trauma and things like that, that it's so important to be able to check in with ourselves and figure out how we're doing, what we need, and remember our sovereignty and autonomy, that there is no one on the planet more responsible for me than me, and there will never be anyone on the planet more responsible for me than me. So what am I choosing to do with my life to guide it in helpful ways, in ways that lead me toward my dreams? So that's what I want to talk about a little bit today, and want to address your comments as well. So want to give a shout out first to Adam, who posted a video over the weekend, and that was really great to get that feedback, get that update from him. So Adam, great job on all of your processing. I appreciate you sharing your experimentation with the keto diet, and even that you did that once before a while back and didn't do it well, you said, and so now you're doing it again about 3 weeks on, and it's going better. And I mentioned this in the comments, but I also was on keto a few years ago, and I don't think I crunched the numbers correctly. I think I was really overestimating the amount of calories I was burning. So I did not lose any weight. I didn't lean out. So I wasn't necessarily it's not always about the weight, so I want to clarify that, but it is about composition. So muscle should be increasing, body fat should be decreasing, and so the weight may not change, but there should be an adjustment for health in there if things are lined up. And quick comment about body image and health and all that. I think sometimes the quest for a healthy looking body is demonized because it's seen as vain and focusing on appearance. But appearance often is one of the symptoms of health. So if a flower is wilting, then you know it either has too much water or not enough water, or soil isn't nutrient dense enough, or something, it's not getting enough sunlight. It is an indication of health. And so while we don't have to be obsessed with appearance, if we choose health, appearance will improve, usually. So, but it is important to look at health over appearance, because some people are just like, oh, and not that there's anything wrong with this either, but like getting a lip injection is not the same as improving your health. So, yeah, just that's all I pretty much want to say about that. So focusing on health, prioritizing health, appearance will follow. So then back to Adam, and he's doing ketogenic diet and implementing intermittent fasting. And I just suggested, feel free to, focus on the keto first, let the body adjust to the higher fat and lower carbs. And then as it feels right, move into smaller and smaller feeding window with the intermittent fasting, because it can be a lot, especially when there have been multiple health issues and health issues related to trauma that we've experienced. So kind of being gentle with the body, compassionate with understanding where we're coming from, understanding how the body is doing, how it's adjusting, how it's feeling with all of the changes in the diet. So yeah, so thank you, Adam, for that post. And Monica says, it's rough, self-doubt abounds. Sometimes I wonder what the point of my job is. And I asked her for more information on that, and she sent me a message, and basically talked about discouragement and wanting to know if she's doing enough. And so sometimes I think, especially as a helper personality or an empath, servant type, someone who wants to caretake and improve other people's lives, it's easy for other people to see us as very powerful and capable and very aware of our own value, and not ever think to give us any feedback or affirm our the benefit that we're bringing to them. So times that I've experienced that, usually at some point after feeling like, oh man, I feel like I haven't made any difference in anyone's lives, someone will share something, and it'll be from one of those times where I thought, oh, I'm not making any difference. So so Monica, I hope that you get some feedback, and until then, know that you are needed in the world. The world is better for having someone like you in it who's willing to be present and be vulnerable and share and love others. So hopefully you're feeling better, and keep us posted. We can always give you more encouragement along the way. And then Robin says, I'm doing pretty well, processing some things. Thursday is 10 years since my mom went to be with Jesus. She was my last parent. My dad died when I was 13. On top of losing my mom, I stopped going along with toxic sibling and extended family crap. So there was a lot all at once. It was the hardest time of my life, and that's huge since I'm currently going through a marital separation, headed toward divorce in a couple of months. Letting go of more toxicity, I finally see. The ocean always brings me peace and points me back to my Creator, so a friend is taking me to the ocean on Thursday. My mom loved the ocean too, so it's also in honor of her. I'm looking forward to it. That's really, really good. I know there's a lot of tough things going on for you right now, Robin, but I see a lot of really powerful things shifting for you energetically. You are stepping into your sovereignty, not choosing to be entangled with shadow contracts or unspoken contracts of behavior with certain people. So you said you stopped going along with toxic sibling and family crap, and you're also going through a marital separation, headed toward divorce, and so it sounds like you are choosing to be authentic to yourself, to guide yourself in all the ways that you need to be true to you. And that's a huge thing, really, really beautiful thing. And I know from living on the ocean, or at the beach, near the beach, for over 4 years now, how healing it is to be in this energy. So I really hope you enjoy your time at the ocean tomorrow, and that you can sense what your mom wants to say to you as you spend time thinking about her. So thanks for sharing, Robin. Willow says, lots of death, having a rough time. So yeah, sorry to hear that. There's a lot of letting go in this season. I'm familiar with one of the deaths that you're talking about, and I have the sense that that your loving, caretaking heart is possibly feeling too responsible for how others are experiencing their lives and the challenges that they're experiencing. And I just want to remind you that you are enough, and you are more than enough, and that everyone is blessed to have you in their life. Everyone who has you in their life is blessed to have you in their life. And you're enough. What you do is enough. Who you are is enough. What you say is enough. You are wise and comforting and encouraging and loving. So remind yourself of how amazing and beautiful and powerful you are, and also just allow yourself to grieve. I don't know if you saw the TV show WandaVision, but one of the quotes from there that I love is, "What is grief but love persevering?" What is grief if not love persevering? And that's really, really beautiful. So, yeah, lots of love to you, Willow. Lots of comfort, lots of strength. And then Chuck says, navigating toxic people. They seem to have come out of the woodwork all of a sudden, but I'm really proud of myself for walking away and not looking back. Yeah, that's huge, and I'm really proud of you as well. That's not easy, especially for someone who is empathic and someone who is a caretaker, like so many here. You are the only one, again, that you get to decide what your experience of life is. And if you don't wish to be around toxic people, you don't have to be around toxic people. Usually the only thing that stands between you and a more peaceful place and environment is being willing to make the changes to experience that. So that is a way to set boundaries or establish your preferences, is to walk away. And so great job doing that. Great job walking away when you need to, and keep it up. And I would love to hear an update at some point when you think of that, when you are experiencing less quantity of toxic people. Like, what's happened? Was it finally walking away enough, and then they realized, oh, can't do that, and then kind of opening up space for healthy, conscious people. I want to hear how that goes and what that's like for you. So keep us posted. Thanks for sharing, Chuck. And then Lori says, I'm holding steady. I think the higher amounts of protein are helping, and I'm super happy to be able to get back to Tai Chi class. I love that. So, so then you also say, I'm looking into the mind diet. So, I am actually looking this up for the first time in my life, just to see. Okay, so it says an approach to prevent cognitive decline. Okay, cool. All right, so the Mediterranean DASH intervention for neurodegenerative delay, commonly referred to as the MIND diet, okay, combines components of the Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet, while uniquely emphasizing the intake of neuroprotective foods. Okay, that's cool. All right. Okay, good. So nutrient-dense foods in the Mediterranean diet, and then the DASH diet, the dietary approach to stop hypertension, reduce blood pressure, prevent cardiovascular disease. So intake of vegetables, fruit, whole grains, lean meats, nuts, and low-fat dairy. Intake of fat, red meat, sweets, and sugar-containing beverages is restricted. All right, so keep us posted on your experimenting with this. And if, and also, you don't have to share, obviously, but I'm curious to know what, if there's any specific symptoms that you're looking at, anything in particular that you're wanting to change, anything that you're using as markers for improvement. And if you don't see improvement, then please do reach out. I've got some thoughts for you. And want to go with you on this journey and maybe offer some assistance or feedback, or at least a space to dialogue about what you're experiencing and how you're conducting your experiments with this. So yeah, that's great. And then also I love that you are you feel like the higher amounts of protein is helping. So that is what something that I'm learning from longevity experts like Dr. Danielle Lyon and Donald Lehman. He is like he's like the world's foremost expert on protein. And then there's a few other doctors that I've been listening to that have been getting dramatic results from people, but the protein, amino acids, every cell in the body is made of amino acids, and almost half of those are essential or something that the body cannot make. It has to have it in the diet. And so increasing protein, especially as we age, is increasingly important for function, mental function as well as physical function, and longevity. Just being able to hold up over time in our joints, in our memory, in our cognitive abilities, our muscular strength, bone density, all that. So that's really, really valuable. So glad that you're experiencing benefit from that, and also glad that you're able to be back in your Tai Chi class. So that's really cool. So as always, thank you for being here. Thanks for being committed to your health, and always let me know if you need any assistance or want any feedback or need to have a conversation with me. That's what I'm here for. So love you guys and have a great week.